Yep, that's
But
all it is.
segue into the Bears. Da Bears. I have to breathe, bro, because that was probably the most stressed I've ever been watching a Bears game, bro. And here's the reason why. It's a couple reasons why, right? Obviously, the obvious is because we were playing pretty bad in the first half, and then the roller coaster run in the second half to eventually letting us win. That alone, right? But then the implications of it. Not only is it the most important game we've played in 15 years, we're playing the Packers, bro. And you know what's crazy? The last important game, I'm not gonna say, I guess the double doink, I don't want to, I just kind of want to erase that out of my memory because that did exist. But the last time we played in an important game, do you know who we lost to in the playoffs?
Oh.
The Packers, bro. The Packers, bro. I'm talking about the game that I'm thinking about 15 years ago. Obviously, we played playoffs games since then in 2018, and then 2 years later, I think in 2020, we played the Saints. But when we were in the NFC Championship game in, it would have been the 2010-2011 season, we played the Packers and we lost, bro. So for us, fast forward all these years later, we actually won the division. We played the Packers again. And it almost felt like it was going to be the same old Bears story. Yeah, the Bears won the division, so what? They can't beat the Packers when it matters. And you know how much I hate that, bro? Like, I really, like, bro, like, I know everybody was, like, not everybody, but, like, I know it didn't seem as professional when Ben Johnson said F the Packers, right? But you don't understand, bro. When he said that, we was like, yeah, F the Packers, bro. That's the type of timing we've been on my whole entire life, bro. It's always been F the Packers. And the biggest reason why it's always been F the Packers is because they've always beaten us, bro. and not only have they beaten us, they've always outdueled us at the quarterback position. It was like it was Aaron Rodgers and it was Brett Favre, and I'm pretty sure it was people before that, right? And then Jordan Love comes in and it almost feels like, it's the same thing. But then we have a man on our team that most people call the Iceman. If I had it my way, I prefer C-Dub 18, but it looks like Iceman is winning. And he is a quarterback. Essentially, you know how crazy this is, right? Because he's only in his second year, and he's already being donned as the greatest Bears quarterback of all time.
You know how Bears fans is, bro. Like,
bro,
y'all gotta chill the hell out,
bro.
man.
He's already being donned. For one, no matter what you say about how he played last year, the one thing that he always did was show up at the end of the game. Now, there were times where it was like clock management and stuff like that, just rookie mistakes, but he always showed up at the end of the game, and this year it's happening like 10 times better. You cannot tell me he's not the greatest Bears quarterback of all time.
That's just
in his short-lived career.
Bro, this goes back to the shit that be pissing me off
the Bears?
About no, not even Bears, but I feel like everything is just so watered down when we use these words when we talk about GOATs, greatest class. Like, we're giving him do you know what greatest of all time means? Somebody who ain't even won a Super Bowl, a person that hasn't been passing a divisional round, nothing. He's the greatest of all time.
Exactly.
Y'all crazy. So what if he go out next year and shit the bed then? What if he go out next year and it's complete upside down from this season? Is he still the greatest? Like, come on now. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest, and if his career ended now, he's the greatest. That's what that means. That's what the greatest means.
No,
when my career ends, when my career ends. Well, I'm just using that as an example. He's in that conversation of a GOAT. If his career ends today,
I'm not saying greatest quarterback of all time.
Even for the Bears organization, that's disrespectful to people who have made it to the Super Bowl.
Why is it disrespectful?
He didn't even make it to the Super Bowl.
Check it out. I'm gonna dethrone your point right now. Rex Grossman made it to the Super Bowl, and he's probably not even nowhere near one of the greatest Bears quarterbacks of all time.
But what I'm saying is, how can you give it to somebody?
Rex Grossman.
How could you give it to somebody who hasn't done anything but make good throws on the run? Because he can throw on the run, he's the greatest ever? He's the greatest ever because he can throw on the run. Wow, many quarterbacks can do that shit.
What about his passing yards?
Okay,
where's he at in single season passing yards for the Bears?
Okay, he's having one great season. One great season. I feel like we just be giving titles away. Like, yes, he's in terms of that most talented. Yes, you can say he's the most talented, but greatest means resume, body of work. He ain't done shit to be called the greatest. I don't care if he's better than all of the other quarterbacks.
You sound like Lil Wayne right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That's real shit. When we be giving,
like Wayne was hating, bro.
When we be giving these titles out of motherfuckers being GOATs, being all this stuff, it's like, bro, it's so premature. This is one good season and barely good. Cause think about all the games they done won by 3 points, 4 points. They done almost
barely had a good season.
They almost lost to the Raiders. And we talking about he's the greatest, and they're barely getting by.
For one, this is the NFL.
I don't care.
Because you can't say they almost lost to the Raiders when we won the game, and then we also beat good teams.
Yeah, y'all almost lost to bad teams. So all I'm saying is not like you just straight up obliterating, blowing teams out. All I'm saying is I'm not here to debate if he's talented or not. But the fact that people say he's the greatest quarterback in franchise history and he hasn't done nothing for the franchise. So is he the most decorated in franchise history? Has he done the most as far as accomplishments, wins? Does he have MVPs? What does he have? More than any of the other quarterbacks.
He doesn't have any of those things.
Okay, so what makes him? Because he can throw well on the run. He can make difficult passes.
What's the word that the kids use these days? Aura.
Oh,
this man got the most. Or for what, bro? Man's painting his nails and nobody cares a dang thing about that. I know I don't. You want to know why? Because he got too much aura for people to care about that, bro. Hey, all I'm saying is this: he the Iceman.
That's true. He is. I'm not here.
And you gotta also, but here's my point. Let me validate my point because I was trolling a little bit too, but and I'm also I'm like trolling but also serious at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he also, you got to consider this, right? How many? I really wish I had the statistic of how many quarterbacks we went through in a 20-year cycle, or franchise cycle, to be honest. And here's the thing that I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make: his ceiling is very low as far as the quarterbacks that come through. Like if it wasn't him, we would be arguing that Jay Cutler is our best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
And what has Jay Cutler done?
Nothing more than
you said accolades, right? Has Jay Cutler made it to a Super Bowl?
No.
So and it would have been a good argument to say that Jay Cutler is our best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, and I can still say that because he has more wins than Caleb Williams. He has more career totals than Caleb Williams. So that's what I mean. Like, you can't just straight up strip this man of all the shit that he did and say this motherfucker is the greatest quarterback in franchise history. Hell no. He may be more talented, but he's not the greatest in franchise history. So if next year he shits the bed, then is he still the greatest? No, hear me out.
Absolutely.
If this is the height of his career, right here, I'm not saying it is, but if this is the height of Caleb Williams' career, is he still considered the greatest quarterback in franchise history? How? Absolutely. All right, well, hey, we just got to agree to disagree on this because I don't see it that way. I can't see it that way. I cannot be a delusional Bears fan because you know what? This is setting up disappointment for all y'all ass to be crying and complaining. Not saying they will. I'm actually a believer.
Hey, hear me out. We still in the playoffs. We still in the playoffs.
For how long?
Don't matter.
Maybe a couple days.
Week by week.
Because we about to get into that. So maybe y'all got a couple days left.
Week by week.
All right.
Now hear me out. All right, let's get into it. We already beat the Packers. F the Packers as always, man.
Okay.
Great. Probably, like I said, biggest heart attack ever watching the Bears game. Now, no. Actually, let's stay on the Packers real quick. And I'm only going to ask this question. We don't got to dive into the details of the game because at this point we're already moving on to next week, right?
Right.
Was that probably the best Bears game we've witnessed in our lifetime as far as entertainment?
I mean, it's hard for me to answer that because
And
I haven't.
implications of playoff and playing the Packers.
Uh,
Now, that's a very good, valid point. That's arguable. That's a more
yeah,
arguable point than me saying Caleb Williams is the greatest quarterback of all time for the Bears.
yeah, it may be, maybe. I really can't answer that question because I don't watch. I honestly say I'm not
Most streamed
watching.
NFL game of all time.
Yeah, it was entertaining for sure.
Now,
It was
now
entertaining.
streaming is very young too, as well for the
Yeah,
NFL. Streaming is not
yeah.
even a decade in, but just saying, man. Dog Bears after Packers. Now on to next week against the formerly the you know what obviously it's the LA Rams, formerly known as the St. Louis Rams. Yada yada yada. I was talking to Chris about this when we was recording, and he made the point that he would want to see the Rams because they're a dome team and they haven't played us this season. All the other teams that are left, I mean, we haven't seen the Seahawks either, but they wasn't even an option for us to see unless it'd be the conference championship, right? And he argued, and I argued, like, do you want to see the Eagles or do you want to see the Rams in the second round? And he said the Rams for two reasons. One, because they haven't played us, so they haven't sized us up yet, versus the Eagles, we played them, and it could be some adjustments made or whatever the case may be. Two is that the fact that the Rams play in the dome and we play in the cold, and they would be essentially at a disadvantage with us being at home. What are your thoughts? Who would you have preferred to play? Or what? Actually, because we already playing the Rams. What do you think about his take on that? As far as Rams will be the better team to play for us, as far as it being cold and them playing in the dome, and also us not having played them all season.
I'm gonna tell you this. Cold ain't got nothing, it's not about to have nothing to do with what's about to happen. I don't think it's gonna affect Matthew Stafford. I don't think it's gonna affect that Rams offense. I don't think it's gonna have any effect on it because it's cold. You think because it's cold? What is that gonna change?
Before you continue, who you rooting for, bro?
I'm objective.
Bro, what is wrong with you, dude? What is wrong with you, bro?
I don't have no picks.
Bro, I don't have no picks. Is wrong with? I'll let you continue, bro.
I just love football. All right, I don't have picks. I'm not a fan of any teams. I'm not a fan.
You're from Chicago, bro. You're from, or at least the neighboring suburbs of Chicago, bro.
I don't care, bro.
What do you like, bro? What we doing?
What's the problem? What's the problem? What is the problem?
You what makes you better than a Green Bay Packers fan who's from Chicago? You know, the one thing I don't understand is that a person can be born and raised in Chicago, and I know many people born and raised in Chicago that are Green Bay Packers fans, and I'm like, why? You just wanted to be that kid that was different growing up. That's how I feel talking to you right now, bro. You just want you make me feel like you was one of those kids that just wanted to be different growing up, for you just hating the Bears. That's how I feel having this conversation with you right now. Go ahead. I'll let you finish your take. I'm just that down with the Bears, man. Bear down, man. What's up?
Wait, hold on. It's I'm getting an alert saying device struggling to record. I think it's cutting out. I might have to come in and come back out.
Perfect timing. Go ahead. Yeah, it's still recording, so I'll let it come back.
All right, hold on.
And I'll probably sneak diss you while you drop off.
I can't even hear you. You sound like a robot.
I'll probably do a little bit of sneak dissing.
All right, hold on.
Bro, I don't understand this man. He over here. Is this man? What did the kids say? Is this man glazing the Rams, bro? Is this man glazing the Rams and the Bears are in a divisional round for the first time in 15 years? What is wrong with this guy? Bro? That's the one thing I don't be understanding about Chicago sports, bro. For one, I would rather you be a bandwagon fan for the Bears. Like, you don't follow them where they're bad and you follow them where they're good. I'd rather you be that. That's okay, because technically you can't bandwagon your hometown team, right? But to not like or support what they got going on when they actually are winning, or to be one of those weirdos who are Green Bay Packers fans and they're from Chicago, I just can't respect it, bro. I really cannot respect it, man. Like, it's just so freaking weird to me, bro. It's so freaking weird to me, bro. It's so freaking weird to me. But as I wait for Efe to come back, I'm going to go down the list still. We play the Rams Sunday night football, 5:30. And obviously, I am going with the Bears. Obvious pick. Da Bears. Here's my thing. And I want to go back to Chris's point, you know, what I was talking about earlier. I do think weather does affect a team's play and performance, especially if they played in the dome most of their season. And it's going to be extremely cold in Chicago on Sunday. On top of that, we practice in this stuff. We're literally practicing in this probably tomorrow. How can you not think that gives us an advantage? That's what I'm going to say to Efe. How can you not think that gives us an advantage? You have a team that plays in California in a dome. Hooray. You have a team that actually play in the trenches in the cold. Come on, bro. That 1,000% gives us an advantage. It just does. It does. Now, to Efe's credit, he does have a point. Chicago fans, especially Bears fans, we're very delusional at heart. We are. And we know we are. It's not like we don't know this. Or maybe some of us don't know that we're actually delusional. But here's the thing, man. We have our coach. We have our quarterback. We have an offense. The only thing that is questionable at times, but then again, at the same time, not really, is our defense. And the crazy thing about it, right? Our defense looked so bad in the first half against the Packers. So bad. So bad. And then in the second half, to only allow 6 points, that is like so weird to me. But so weird in a good way. Not weird like bad, weird in like a good way. So in my head, it's like almost like, damn, why is it that? And I think the week before, something similar happened with the Detroit Lions. They put up like, what, 16 or something, and then they barely scored in the second half. And it almost feels, is this the way is this how, is this a part of the plan, essentially? Is that how we want things to be? Where is it like almost like how Floyd Mayweather was in boxing matches where like the first 4 rounds, he would like, it would be 50-50. He's like not really attacking or whatever. You know, he's taking a lot of punches or whatever. And if you know what Floyd Mayweather used to do in those boxing matches, he used to collect his DNA, is what he would call, or his sample size, to see like, all right, this is how this boxer's playing me. Now I'm gonna step it up the rest of the rounds and I'm gonna play defense and knock him out. Oh, Efe's back. But I compare, what I was talking about Efe, I was talking to myself for a little bit, to, just keep it going. But the way I compare, I was talking about the Bears defense, right?
Okay.
I was also calling you a weirdo too. But I was talking about the Bears defense. And I say it's very interesting that, for example, with the Packers, we look like the worst defense ever, to come back in the second half and only allow 6 points. And then I even took it a step further to say the week before that, it almost like we did something similar when I want to say Detroit put up a decent amount of points in the first half, and in the second half, the defense played a lot better. And it's almost like it's calculated this way, right? And then I was comparing it to an example of Floyd Mayweather, of saying, like, you ever watch Floyd Mayweather fights, right? Like the first 4 rounds, it would be 9 times out of 10, it would be going to the opposite opponent, and you would be like, "Damn, what Floyd doing? Not picking up the pace." And those would be the rounds that he's actually collecting his data. It's like, all right, they hit me in the mouth here. This is how he attacking me, and then he'll step it up the rest of the fight to the point that he more times than not obliterate his opponent, right? And I'm trying to compare our defense. I'm like, is that what our defense is doing, or is that what our team is doing? We're testing the team out in the first half and all the way, sometimes even the third quarter, and all the way up until the last hour, we decide, all right, we're finna turn it on to put up 25 points in the fourth quarter. Is that what we're doing? Is that our recipe for success this year? Or I'm just being a delusional Bears fan and saying, like, no, they actually don't know how to be a 2-half team?
Yeah, you
What do you
definitely
think it
being
is?
you definitely being delusional Bears fans. They are not a 4-quarter football team. And look, and look. Here's what I will say, because like I said, I'm just objective. I don't care. Like the thing
Hater, yeah.
is, the
It's
last
another
five,
way to say hater, but
the
okay.
last 5 of the six games that they've played, they've trailed at half. And then obviously the big stat out there is they've had 7 fourth quarter comeback wins this season, right? You mentioned this when you was on the pod with the guys, that this is not a sustainable way to play football. And I agree with you, because yes, you are getting lucky and being able to come back, and because you have a talented quarterback that's allowing you to do that.
I
But
did say long term, though. I did say long term.
yeah. But I mean, but I see long term as the playoff, because can you win out winning that way? Absolutely not. When you about to play the best offensive team in the NFL, will arguably the MVP of the league, will arguably in Puka Nacua have one of the best skill positions in the NFL. They're putting up the most yardage per game and the most yards in the season this year. They're gonna come out and be explosive. I believe in the last 12 games they've averaged 30 points. So they're not gonna come out. I see this game going 2 ways: Rams blowout, or it's gonna be a shootout. A blowout or a shootout. That's what I think, because and this game depends on how the Bears get out. I don't think this is a team where they can come out slow and be down at the half and score 25 points and win the game in the fourth quarter. I think they gonna hang 30, 40 points on the Bears, and the Bears are gonna have to play them like they played the Niners to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a close, gritty game. I don't care if they in Chicago. The Rams, they have a great run game. They have a great pass game. They have an explosive offense, but so does the Bears in the depth that they have. But it's just a matter of, are they going to come out aggressive? Are they going to come out on point? Because I know you say, hey, is this a formula? It's not a formula when you're making mistakes. Like, that's not a formula for trying to get data. When Caleb Williams throwing ill-advised passes that turn into turnovers, which I'll give them grace, because they lead the league in least amount of giveaways, right? They're just not just giving a ball away, but you have those weird ass plays from Caleb Williams where he just like, it's just some crazy just happened and just a weird turnover, just like it's just the most random shit ever and most ill-advised, and nobody can understand it. So he has highs, but he has lows, and I think if they put themselves in a deficit early on, I don't think they coming back against the Rams. But they can very well beat the Rams if that defense plays like they played in the second half and give Caleb Williams and the offense a chance. They have a chance, but I think it's going to be a shootout. That defense sucks. In terms of yardage given up, they're going to give up yards. They're going to give up big plays because that's what they've been doing. But they also, last week they didn't have a takeaway. So they're this great takeaway team, but the first game in the playoff, they don't have a takeaway. So if we got to depend on them getting a takeaway to stop them, it's going to be a long night. Matthew Stafford is going to have his way. That receiving core is going to have their way, So I just think that there is no time for the slow start shit. Like, it's only so long you're going to be able to get by winning games like that, especially in these moments. The playoffs, yeah, you got to wait with it with Green Bay, but I just think that LA is a completely different team, and they're going to put that pressure on for you to have to keep up. Like, it's going to be a horse race for sure. It ain't going to be no gritty battle, and it's going to be a 14-7 game. Like, no, I think this game is going to be in the 30s, the 40s. Like, I think it's going to be explosive. And can the Bears keep up? Can they keep up? That's what it's going to be. Can they start fast, and can they keep up? That's it. Hey,
What's
I'm
your
objective.
prediction, man? Let's just go forward on this. I was going to ask you to list off some of your Ram stats, but I don't even care to hear them. What's your prediction, man? What's your prediction? What's your prediction?
My true prediction, I think the Rams is going to handle them. Like, I think it's going to be.
You think it's going to be a blowout?
I don't think it's so hard for me to say, bro, because anything can happen, but I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think
with the Rams winning.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a high scoring on somebody's end. I don't think it's gonna be low scoring. So for me, like I said, it comes down to the Bears and how quick they get started. If they start slow, I think the Rams beat them by over 3 possessions.
You already know who I got. I got the Bears. The Bears bear down. That's all that needs to be said. They play on Sunday at 5:30, the last game of the day, Sunday Night Football on NBC, on Peacock. Bear down. All I'm saying is this, man. Think about it like this though, bro. If I'm just speaking hypothetically, right? Let's just say if the NFL is a script, right?
What the hell?
No.
Where we going with
Hear me out.
this?
Hear me
All
out.
right,
Because
all right.
you gotta think. At the end of the day, that any sports league or whatever is entertainment, and sometimes you gotta add that element of WWE to it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about ratings and about dollar signs and it's about making money.
Gotcha.
And when the Bears are good and in the contention, but also especially when they make it all the way to the Super Bowl, that is great for the league. The Bears and Green Bay Packers matchup for years to come is going to be feeding the league like crazy, especially with the rating. So if I'm believing in that, if I'm a conspiracy theorist and believing that the league is rigged and I believe in narratives or whatever the case may be, it only makes sense for the Bears to win all the way up into the Super Bowl. Make it all the way to the Super Bowl and even win.
The Bears been trashed for decades. The NFL been just fine.
Well, of course the league is going to be fine, but I'm saying it helps the league that much more. You know that 85 Bears is one of the big reasons why the league was even able to go global because of how much fans love them worldwide. Like especially in London.
Yeah.
You know how much people love Mike Dicker? Bro, they used to make SNL skits for the Bears, bro. And Saturday Night Live is based in New York.
I hear you, brother.
Bruh.
I hear you. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I get it. Bear down, the Bears. I got the Bears winning. Man, come on.
But I do want to say this.
Let's keep going, man.
I do want to say this real quick. I want to say this real quick. I do think that the Bears have a high ceiling, though. Like, I think this team could be great in the next 2 or 3 years. But beyond this season, they have a very high ceiling. Like, this team, these close games that I'm talking about, I imagine that these games in the next 2 or 3 years are blowouts from the Bears. Like, they washing teams by 30, 40 points. I really do.
When they learn how to actually play in the first half.
Yeah, and when they got to develop their core offensively are young guys, so they need time to develop. These are rookies we talking about. Well, Caleb's not a rookie, but you brought in a lot of rookies who are giving a lot of production. So Kyle Monangai, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, like those guys are rookies. So imagine when they're 3, 4, 5 years in and they're polished and Caleb's polished and he's hitting his prime and they gonna be rolling teams, boy. Like they just got to work on the defensive side of the ball now. Like they need to go in the draft.
Which they can attack in the offseason.
Yes, they need an offensive disruptor. They need an edge rusher that's going to disrupt the game, because right now they're not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They're not getting a lot of sacks. Like they need those type of guys that's going to truly disrupt offenses. Like and they'll be good. A Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby type of player that's just disruptive on the defensive end, and get some DBs that could take away parts of the field, and they're gonna be fucking dangerous in 5 years. I'm telling you.
Just not this year, huh?
Man, the way they playing, bro, it's just so inconsistent. Like, I mean, yeah, it's working, but yeah, that shit, man, we gonna see. But if they do it, then they do it. I'm wrong, but I've never seen a team. I don't know if you know of a team that has come from behind in every playoff game and won the Super Bowl. We could I guess we could fact check that at some point,
TBD.
but I don't know if any team has ever done that. So
TBD.
We'll see.
The Patriots did come back against the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and they were actually down by more.
Yeah, but that's one game. I'm talking about the whole playoff run, so.
And at that point, the Patriots was probably already a dynasty, so.
Yeah.
But I want to segue it. The Bears. I got the Bears winning. I want to segue it to college football, actually. Transfer